Eric, as we get set to talk a little horse racing, first off, the first weekend is now in the books. Give me your thoughts on just how live racing went down Friday, Saturday, and Sunday out at Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino.
Hi, Steve. It came across, I thought, spectacularly. You know, we got off to a very good start with the quarter horse race that we were publicizing so much at the press conference. The championship turned out to be the Danger Party, and it's so neat to get to see a field that has $8 million of career earnings, and Danger came through in the clutch. I don't think he was in the lead early, and he was able to defeat an All-American Futurity winner in KJ Desperado. So that was really awesome to see, and good people that own him. And the horse now is made about $2.5 million. So the older quarter horse division in the United States is as strong as I think it's ever been. Usually they retire these horses, but I think Danger is a gelding, so that's one reason why he continues to run. But these horses will probably reappear somewhere down the line, and maybe we'll see Danger, running next year's championship at Sunland Park, because Dean Fry, his trainer, said that he's just fine, and he carefully calculates which races to go for Danger. He doesn't over race him, and the horse travels so well. Why not? And KJ Desperado, probably the same thing. He's so tough, so sharp. He'll probably be running at Remington Park, Ruidoso Downs, and then next season here.
And really for Danger, it was closing, right? I mean, the last 200 yards, that was the difference in what made him the big winner in that race.
Yeah, he made like a Usain Bolt kind of a move. He attended the early lead. I thought he might not have been too far off, maybe a half length. But when you go 440 yards, I mean, there is an opportunity to do that. Most quarter horse races, though, you need to be on the lead early to win it. But he certainly showed his class and delivered. And, he's like the iron-legged horse of quarter horse racing. And we were certainly glad to have him here. And great people, were behind him. James Flores was his rider. So it was a big day. And then I thought an even bigger day that we had on Sunday here at Sunland Park. There was a lot of weather in the Southwest, and out at Santa Anita, they couldn't even run, and they couldn't run in San Francisco either. So Sunland took a huge benefit on Sunday. You remember that company called TVG? It's called FanDuel now.
Okay.
But yours truly was prominently displayed all afternoon on FanDuel, and they got a real kick out of my enthusiasm, I heard from some of my pals. But the racing was terrific on Sunday here. Bikini Time won with Enrique Gomez, and we saw a horse from Phoenix, Turf Paradise, Minister of Soul, just sprout wings at the last 100 yards and won it. So it was a bit of an overcast day, but we did almost $1.25 million. It's unheard of for this early in the season. Usually we don't start doing millions and millions in handle until Sunland Derby Day.
Wow, that's huge. Let's talk for a second about what happened on Sunday with Bikini Time, the 22nd running of the New Mexico State Racing Commission Handicap. This is a horse that was ridden by Enrique Portillo Gomez and also trained by Bart Hone. And yet Bikini Time ended up getting past Quattro. How good was this race?
It was so good because Enrique was able to rate the speed of Bikini Time. He sensed it. He was very fast up front, and they were really going at a torrid pace early. So Bikini Time kind of turned into a closer. And coming in the top of the stretch, there was a wall of horses in front of Bikini Time. So it took Enrique's experience. And when you talk about some of our top riders, Enrique has always been in the top shelf of our riders. I'm not sure if he's ever won a title here, but he's been second or third many, many times. And he rode a lot for, the late Henry Dominguez, who was a great trainer. And once Enrique steered Bikini Time to an opening towards the rail, she responded. And the action shot that the Cody photography people took of Bikini Time is awesome. Yeah. Because there's Enrique Gomez giving a fist pump. He's holding the whip, but it's like a fist pump at the wire. And it was really great to see. And it was such a deep race that Bikini Time really wasn't a favorite. I think she was about 7-1. There were a lot of other good horses in the race.
We're talking right now to Eric Alwan, the voice of Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino, with our weekly edition of Track Talk. Now, the race that is named after our partner station, the KLAQ Handicap, the 32nd running. This was also a really good race. Goodbye Charlie gave Minister of Soul a really good run. And
Huge.
matter of fact, the 5 furlong race was terrific. But hey, Minister of Soul, you talked about the horse earlier. Esteban Martinez Valdez, the owner and trainer, Harry Hernandez, the jockey, ends up getting the big win.
Those are some really great connections, Steve, and our good pal Felix Chavez of the El Paso Times got to interview Harry at the end of the, in the winner's circle. And Harry Hernandez has been here before. He rode Miss Hard Knocks in some of our preps for the Sunland Oaks last year, and he's a runaway leading rider at Turf Paradise. The horseman you mentioned, Esteban Martinez, is one of my favorite trainers at Turf Paradise, and for whatever reason, Minister of Soul never really did uncork his best effort here at Sunland. He's run against the finest sprinters in the Southwest at Turf Paradise and has been a juggernaut at a place called Canterbury. I don't know if you know about that place, but that's a big track in Minnesota. And I mean, his lifetime earnings speak for himself. I think it's about $500,000. But he was 0 for 5 coming into that race, the KLAQ last Sunday. And 5 furlongs can be a difficult distance to try to come from behind on. And usually Minister of Soul is on the lead, but that Goodbye Charlie freaked. I mean, he did a quarter mile in about 21 3, 44 for the half. So Minister of Soul had to use closing tactics. I don't know really what happened to Competitive Idea, horse that I liked a lot. I don't think he broke all that well, but he was about 9 lengths behind at the early part, whereas Minister of Soul might have been 4 to 5 lengths off the pace, but pure jockey power there with Harry Hernandez. I love his style, and he was able to have something in reserve with Minister of Soul, because when they were coming down a deep stretch, I was about ready to wrap up the present and just say Goodbye Charlie's unstoppable, but Minister of Soul kept coming, and I don't remember exactly what I said, enveloped them or inhaled them at the end. I said there's danger in the air for the championship race. That was kind of cute.
I love that.
Danger one.
Back to Minister of Soul for just a second. 2 wins in a row. This is a 9-year-old horse. And that really kind of takes us to a different part of track talk, Eric. How often do we find 9, 10-year-old horses that are still racing, still winning races, and having an opportunity like this to come here to Sunland and win the KLAQ Handicap?
In my experience, Steve, 9 is about the edge, the cusp, or the end maybe of a horse's best, and it's really up there. I've seen some stakes winners maybe at the age of 10, but not very many. I think you can say that a horse's age multiplied by 5 or 6 is what it would equate to a human's age. So, 9 times 6 is 54.
Yeah.
But they're different species, of course, but Minister Soul's just one of those gems. He goes through some arcs of sharpness and then slight declines, but he doesn't decline that much that they put him in claiming races. No. He always seems to regain his form and shine. Usually he runs in that big stakes that Turf Paradise has called the Phoenix Gold Cup. He's tackled the likes of Chief Cicatriz. Do you remember that name? Mm-hmm. Chief Cicatriz was one of our top sprinters here. And it's nice to see it. Nice to see him come out here. It's nice to see that Sunland can attract horses from other places early in the meet.
That's true. Because we usually get that when we get closer to the Mind That Handicap and then later on the Sunland Derby. But when you can get a Turf Paradise horse, even if it's a vet, opening weekend, that really bodes well for what could be a terrific meet this year.
Sure could. We probably owe a bit of thanks to Mother Nature. Turf Paradise in Phoenix, I don't know if you know it, but it's rained so much in Phoenix, they've lost 12 live racing days of their season so far. So, I mean, if this continues, maybe we'll see an influx more of Phoenix invaders.
That's huge. And maybe that's part of the reason why, this horse was here this weekend because of all the rain and the delays. Have we seen that with other tracks around the country, or has Turf Paradise been one of the racing tracks that's been hit the most by Mother Nature?
The latter. They've been hit the most. I don't know why. Santa Anita got a burst. They didn't run Sunday, but they ran yesterday. But for some reason, that Phoenix track, when it rains just a little bit, or if it continues to rain, they can't have racing anymore because it becomes unstable. So there's something about that track. Usually there's not that much rain in Phoenix.
Quarter horse racing, Fridays and Saturdays, thoroughbreds, Sundays and Tuesdays. Now, as we air Track Talk every Tuesday, more than likely the live racing has come to an end because it starts at 12:25 and then will probably end between 4 and 5 o'clock, given the race card, Eric. But let's talk about what you have coming up this weekend and what we should expect here for the second weekend of live racing at Sunland.
On Saturday, we have 10 races. As a matter of fact, there's so much activity at the entry box. Additionally, we have the shoe fly trials. That's a race we always have for New Mexico bred 3-year-olds, just newly turned 3-year-olds. You know, every horse had a birthday on January 1st. They turned 1 year older. And the red or green stakes for all of our red or green enchilada lovers. That'll be on Saturday. And JJ Gonzalez, he came through, by the way, for me on a horse that he trained on Friday, Favorite Question. He has a $300,000 winner in Big D in that red or green stakes. And then I think on Sunday, Steve Esmussen's bringing a horse in, Harry Oakley, a $300,000 stakes mare for the Bold Eagle handicap. So I think this experiment that we're doing with keeping the quarter horses by themselves and the thoroughbreds by themselves is working out quite advantageously for us.
Steve Esmussen has always been a big friend of Sunland Park over the years, bringing in some great horses, some huge winners. You tell me, because I hadn't heard the name Steve Esmussen when we started the season. I was kind of wondering, would he be bringing horses over here? Well, I guess the answer is yes. Yeah,
he's such a mastermind, and he does so well at the big time that there's occasions maybe where all of the blocks have been fitted where he's in New York or California or Churchill Downs or Keeneland or all of those places. Well, now he's at Oaklawn. But I think that Sunland has always been so special to his heart because his mom and dad, Keith and Marilyn Asmussen, they ran here when he was a little boy. So there's maybe something special about that to Steve and his whole family. And of course, he did win the Sunland Derby here and won all of our major races. His brother Cash rode here. And we're really thankful that Steve still thinks of us in that nice of a way.
Once again, folks, live racing, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and Tuesdays. The quarter horses get Fridays and Saturdays to themselves. The thoroughbreds get Sundays and Tuesdays to themselves as well. Eric, we're going to have so much to talk about every week, but we appreciate you joining us. And thanks again for another great week here on Track Talk.
Thanks for having us, Steve. Talk soon.